What's up, guys? Eli here, back for a film review. Today we're going to be talking about Infinity Pool. Got my DVD right here. It's not even a 4K. It's not even a Blu-ray. Standard DVD, I know. People still buy these. They still make them. Anyways, Infinity Pool came out this year, 2023. It was written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg, son of cult body horror maestro David Cronenberg. I know I just used the word maestro and I feel fucking dumb. So I've watched this movie twice now. The first time I watched it, I didn't quite feel super ready to talk about it. But on the second watch, I decided, all right, I really like this movie. I want to do a review of it, and that's what I did. So, anyways, stars Alexander Skarsgård, an actor that adds a lot to anything that he plays in. Literally anything, in my opinion. I first saw him on the TV show True Blood. You guys might remember that, and I've pretty much kept an eye on him ever since. Maybe I haven't seen everything he's done, but I really like the dude. Infinity Pool also stars the up-and-coming Mia Goth from X, Pearl, and a handful of other things. X and Pearl are kind of what I know her from. I've become a huge fan of Mia, to be honest. Like I said, I wasn't really aware of her too much really before I saw X, but it was Pearl that made me a fan. I just gotta say, right from the start, this movie is quite a feast for the eyes. Something that's literally what I said to myself within the first 2 minutes of the movie. And anyone doubting Brandon's authenticity, due to his dad being one of the most legendary directors in history, they should probably shake that off. He is a true filmmaker, in my opinion, and I really hope he's here to stay. It does look that way. In fact, Infinity Pool has been more successful than Crimes of the Future, which was his dad's most recent film, which I wouldn't mind doing a review of that. I'm a big David Cronenberg fan. I've only seen Crimes of the Future once. I couldn't really get into it. I'm going to have to give it a second watch and maybe I'll do a review. So anyways, we have James here, played by Skarsgård, and his wife M, played by Cleopatra Coleman. James and M are on vacation at this fictional island of Latolka. I think if I'm pronouncing it right, Latolka. James is an author, and he meets Gabby, played by Mia Goth. And Gabby recognizes James and claims to be a big fan of his work, much to James' surprise. Gabby and her partner Albin, played by Jaleel Lespert, invite James and M to dinner that same night. So here, Mia speaks in her natural British accent, which I'm totally not used to. She's very charming, tons of charisma. She just soaks up the camera's attention effortlessly. That's just one of the many skills she seems to have. Skarsgård is equally impressive here. I think I've gushed enough about the both of them. So James reveals to Gabby and Albin during dinner that he has lost confidence in himself as a writer due to his lack of success. M comes from a wealthy family and financially supports James pretty much, which he isn't exactly proud of. The two couples end up spending the next day together at a beach outside of the resort, despite there being a rule that guests of the resort are not allowed to venture far, since the area has a really high crime rate and the locals really dislike the tourists. Later that night, as the four are driving back to the resort together, with James driving the rented car, accidentally hits a local man, killing him on impact. It's fucked up. James and M want to call the police, naturally, but Gabby and Albin won't allow it. I should probably mention that Gabby and Albin have been to this resort in this country quite a few times, and they kind of know the ins and outs. So they say that it's a very corrupt country, and they would likely be murdered by the police as punishment. Early that morning, James and M wake up to police pounding on their hotel room door. They are escorted to the local police station without explanation. And this is a very tense and claustrophobic scene. M ends up confessing to the police, and this is where the movie becomes a nightmarish reality on an almost Lovecraftian level. M and James are given an ultimatum. They can either be executed at the hands of the family of the man that they killed, or pay a fee to be cloned and have the clone killed instead while they are forced to watch. It's bizarre. If you have ever wondered what it's like to watch yourself be murdered, it is absolutely horrific. I can assure you of that, and if you've seen this movie, you know what I mean. It turns out that this type of thing is actually quite common in Latolka. And it seems to basically be kind of a playground for rich, entitled, sadistic people, and the Latolka government profits from it. I found this movie to be very engaging, at times kind of like a lucid nightmare that you choose not to wake up from. You want to look away, but you don't. The atmosphere is almost nauseating and paranoia-inducing. You watch the main characters, along with a few others, descend into depravity, and it's shocking, it's visceral, and it's cerebral. Infinity Pool paints you a picture of the vile side of humanity and the unforgivable things that people are capable of, especially when they know that they can get away with it. I see this as also as kind of like a socio-political type story, one that details the dichotomy of how the rich lack respect for the poor and how the world is kind of a playground for the entitled. Watching the unraveling of the characters, especially James, is quite surreal, and the highlight of the movie for me is kind of the stunning cinematography. I absolutely can't wait to see what Brandon Cronenberg does next. I'm going to give Infinity Pool an 8 out of 10. It's a tough watch for reasons I explained, but it's almost mesmerizing as you watch James again, spiral into depravity. Regardless of the story, it's a serious pleasure to watch Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård. Anyways, have you guys seen this movie? What do you think? What score would you give it? And thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.